Unlike other nonverbal behaviors during a speech, foot and leg movements should strike a balance between too much and too little. This goes back to the principle of controlled dynamism that we've discussed before. You want to have movement, you want to have lots of movement, but you want to control it so that it supports your message and doesn't look unnatural. Here now are some video clips where you can't hear the sound of the speaker's voice, so you can focus just on how he's moving his feet. In this clip, you can see Roy is moving around way too much. This often happens when a speaker has a lot of nervous energy built up and they channel it through their nonverbal behaviors. He's pacing, but also it's cutting into his eye contact, so it's detrimental to his speech overall. You can see several times in this clip where he turns and he's not even facing anyone in his audience. Here's another example. Again, consider how Roy's foot movements would impact his whole speech. In this clip, you can see Roy doesn't move his feet at all. They're virtually riveted to the floor. If that was for just a brief time during his speech, that would of course be okay. But often students who aren't practiced or aren't comfortable in front of an audience will do this for close to an entire speech. Then it becomes noticeable. So a lot of these movements in isolation aren't good or bad. It's how much you use them during a speech that impacts what the audience will think about it. Here's another example where the amount of movement isn't really the problem so much as the types of movement. In this clip, you can see Roy moves his feet, but he's shifting his weight regularly, giving him the look of a metronome. He's also exhibiting some nervous energy in his foot twisting. Again, he's channeling that nervous energy out through his feet. Now take a look at the same video again, but sped up, and the problem becomes more obvious. In this final clip, you can see Roy use about the right amount of foot movement. Here in this clip, he's in control of his movement. He also looks comfortable and natural. Let's take a listen.
Nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication can be expressed by eye contact, facial expressions, and even hand gestures. Now, did you know if you went to class every single day here at RCTC without saying a word to anyone, you're still sending off hundreds of messages to hundreds of people?
Like mastering other forms of nonverbal communication in your speech, practicing is the key. So start out simple. When you practice your speech, tell yourself, I'm going to move during my speech. Don't worry so much about what the movements are or how much you're doing. Take a look at your speech after you practice one time and then make adjustments. It's just like sports practice. You run a play, and if the play doesn't work the way you designed it, you go back and you do it again and you refine it and fine-tune it. Here's another place that you can start simply. A good time to move is during transitions or when you have a list of items in your speech. Take a look at this clip and watch just my feet as you listen to my voice and see how my feet support the message that I'm delivering with my voice. The remaining 5% of a rabbit's diet can be made up of fresh leafy greens, herbs, and vegetables. It's a stereotype that rabbits only eat carrots, and they do love carrots. But small pieces and any other high-sugar vegetables and fruit should only be given sparingly as a treat. All of the diet information I just gave you came from Dr. Jerry Skinner, who's a veterinarian that specializes in rabbit care and is the author of the website The Rabbit Doctors, which was updated in 2018. Now that we've covered the physical needs of pet rabbits, let's move on to the next category of needs that they have. Rabbits have psychological needs that are similar to cats and dogs. First, unlike cats and dogs, because rabbits are prey animals, they can get stressed very easily. As you just saw in that video clip, there was dynamism, but it was controlled. The movement reinforced the movement from one idea to another idea in the speech. By practicing these small movements during your practice sessions, you too can be on your way to delivering an effective speech.